everybody. Welcome back after summer break with a new episode of The Energy of Houses and Properties. And I will invite Aisha because she's back from holiday as well. And where are you? Takes a bit longer than usual. I don't know. I don't know why she's not in, but I'm accepting the invitation and it doesn't work. Let's try again. So if you have any questions, I know you're there, Aisha. Yes, there you are. Yay!
Hi! Okay, we're on the construction site, everybody, and the counter is being cut for the sink, and so I'm speaking loudly, and I'm outside. We just thought, you know what, we're gonna go for it. I'm just gonna show you the action really quickly.
Yeah. Hello. God, that's annoying.
Okay, so I'm outside doing the meeting from outside. Nicky, it's so great to see you.
Yeah, it's been weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yes,
How
it
was
has
your
been. How is your summer going? It was great. We went to Canada for 3 weeks with my family, with my husband and son, and my parents live there. So we had a nice rest in Canada on the shores of Lake Huron. And it was good. It was good, and I'm counting the days for school to begin.
I can imagine. The schools have started here already, but this week is like a bonus week with a lot of activities, and then next Monday it will start for real. So.
Okay, yeah, ours are starting on Monday as well. Yeah. So Nicky, it looks like you've also been traveling a lot in the summer. Have you been visiting
I've
new
been
places?
away for about 2.5 weeks. We visited the city of Antwerpen. That's in Belgium for a few days, and then we met up with friends on a camping in France, in the Ardèche. And that was really nice. I got to swim in the river, and it was really nice weather. And we hadn't seen those friends in a few years, actually. So we had to catch up a lot. And then after a week, we moved to Marseille-en-Plage, on the coast. So I got to swim in the sea as well. And there it was really, really warm, about 35 degrees Celsius. And I found out I'm really not made for that kind of heat. So I don't know how you're coping there in Turkey, but it's not my cup of tea.
No, I don't like a lot of heat, too much heat, but I'm just moving out of the way. I hope I'm not too far from the internet, but it was very hot. It was very hot, and it really forced me to slow down. Because the only way you can really function is slow steps, really slow steps in the heat. And for us now, 35 degrees is cool.
Oh my goodness.
Like, 35, that's nothing. 33, piece of cake. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's what we're used to.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's been a lot of fires on Rhodos, the islands across from us. There have been fires in Çanakkale, which is the Dardanelles Straits, further up north of us in Turkey. So many shifts occurring on the planet, and it saddens me, really, and it's an indication that Mother Earth is undergoing her shifts, her transformations. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I personally have not been very involved in visiting power places and stuff. I used to do that for a few years. I really, visit certain places, and I didn't do that this year. But you really cannot escape the environment. You really cannot. You just have to deal with whatever is around you,
Yeah.
one way or another, whether you are more aware of all the energies around you or a bit less aware of it, you have to deal with them anyway. So yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. And when you share this, Nicky, this awareness, as I'm on my construction site with all the trash.
You cannot escape it, Aisha. You cannot escape it.
No. I am now fully embracing I am choosing to embrace the imperfectness of it all. There's a part of me that's a light being, Nicky, who's come from the stars, and she was living in a very, very well-designed place up there. Okay? And so coming down has been a very frustrating experience. And when I say coming down, it could be a parallel universe. It could be down below in the center of the earth. I don't know. But my intuition says, last night, I was looking at the stars, because on one side of our house, luckily we don't have this horrible light pollution, and I can actually see the stars. And right above me was the Pleiades constellation. And I feel very connected to that constellation, the Pleiades. The energies and the beings that govern the Pleiades constellation, the so-called seven sisters in the sky, have been very instrumental in supporting me in paving the way for the sacred blueprint. And they're the ones who actually, along with the nature spirits, gave me a big kick in the butt to quit my job in conventional architecture. So I gave them a big thank you last night and asked them for help, and there's a part of me that really longs to go back there, to be there, longs to go back to the place where I'm not dealing with people's trash on the street and trash in the canal across from us. I'm not dealing with, all this trash on our construction site. I'm not dealing with, I'm just going to show you, this insane, zone in front of our house now that's been completely torn down. A tree was torn down, but I think in the end it was okay to open the way to the other side of the neighbors. But they say they're going to build a park, and for 5 months, 6 months, it's been rubble and chaos and it's really testing my spiritual skills and my patience and just more each time I learn that it's okay. It's okay to not have everything run fluidly, perfectly. And okay, I'm just going to show you. Look, this is really hard for me, everybody, for me to be showing you this, but I'm going to do it. It's really hard for me to show you all this trash. This is my woodworker. Yeah.
Hello.
He's amazing. He's amazing. He's amazing. Ciddi misiniz? Oh my God! He just joked with me that he opened the hole for the sink too big. And he just gave me a heart attack, but he was just joking. He's like, Aisha, have a sense of humor. See, this is what I'm learning, people. I'm learning to A, have a sense of humor, not be so serious about anything. B, I'm going to need to figure out this garbage problem on a larger scale and form some kind of a group, a community group. So it's giving me some ideas about creating more of a network with the community, what to do with that park space across the street, right? Go to the the building, the municipality, and talk. So I've got a lot of energy right now, as you can probably guess, and I've lots to share with all of you because I'm very excited about it. And you know what? Deep down, what I'm realizing is no matter how imperfect the whole construction process is, I'm actually having a lot of fun. I love being out on the land. I curse the situation often, and I get upset, but you know, I'm building my home. I'm building my home. You know,
All part of it. It's all part of it. You know, constructions are very, very challenging. As you always tell us that you have to tell your clients, beware, it's really challenging. It will put a strain on
really is.
everything in every aspect of your life, your
Yeah.
relationship, the place you live, your old place, your new place, your kids.
Yeah.
And now you get to experience that yourself again. Yay!
And you know what it's for? Thank you. Yeah, Nikki. And you know, I think you never really fully get what that's about, no matter how much you can teach it to your clients or whatever. And you're very familiar because you're a house healer and you've taken care. You're like the house doctor. You've seen a lot of various situations that people are in when it comes to a certain stage of their, habitation, right? But for me, I was very much in a space and place of being the architect at the office and designing for other people. And you like after a certain while, like especially with house projects, you'd be like realizing, oh, I'm kind of like a psychologist for my clients right now, right? Especially with the house projects, right? And I would start to pick up clues like, maybe we need to find a more holistic and spiritual method that will guide them through a process so that they can birth a house that really suits their soul. But I'm still kind of doing that from a distance, Nikki. Only when I'm now experiencing all the challenges of building my own home it's starting to click even more. It's coming together even more, and I'm actually getting new ideas about how to guide others through this process, whether they're architects, designers, or property owners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you get your feet in the mud now.
You get your feet in the mud. It's humbling. You're having to make all these choices. You end up maybe with something that isn't as you wanted, maybe because of cost, or maybe there was a mistake in the construction, and you need to just learn how to embrace it rather than fight it.
Mm-hmm. That's a very valuable lesson.
It's a very valuable lesson. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We always have to remember that no matter how perfect something is in the idea, in the energy, in the blueprint, when it comes down into materializing it, it cannot ever be as perfect as it was in the energy. It could never. Mathematics is a perfect example for that. If you have all these beautiful shapes and you look at those shapes in the sunflowers or all these sacred geometry, it's never as perfect as it would be in this formula. So with that in the back of your mind, you just have to, well, agree with it or accept it and embrace it, like you said.
I remember, Nicky, in one of our last interviews or episodes, you you said, related to what you were just saying, you said something so beautiful and so dead on, that that in order to for things to get manifested on Earth, they're a bit off, right? Like that they're always a bit off. So when you look at a tree or a human being's face or anything that's manifested from nature, that it's always a bit off. It's derived from a very clean and pure and impeccable, extremely sophisticated blueprint up on a certain dimension. But in order for it to come down to earth, just needs to have that little wonkiness, right?
Yeah,
And I think that's what makes it fun. Yeah. Yeah. You know, and the nature spirits are involved in building those things. Like if we look at the tree on the other end of my property, right? It's wonky. It's not perfect, and each one is different from the other.
Yeah.
Right?
Would be a very boring place if every tree would be exactly the same, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It would be. It would be. So I think it's a really good lesson, especially for audience members who are recovering perfectionists. I'm raising my hand. I'm a recovering perfectionist, and it put me through so much stress. Stress to force something to be a certain way, and really not listen to anybody or other ideas, or just get too obsessed about one outcome. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember a quote. I can't remember whose quote it is, but you come across it a lot in business mentoring. It's better done than perfect.
Yeah, just go for it. Let the energy move, right? It's also about allowing that energy flow. When you just shared that, Nicky, that's what I saw. It's like to just allow the energy to continue flowing, to have that momentum, and trust and know that all will flow in the best and highest way, outcome. Yeah. It also gives you an opportunity to open up the space and place to listen to others. Like my woodworker or my husband, or to take that space and pause and go, okay, well, maybe it wasn't meant to be that way, and there could be a different way of building this roof, or a different way of locating the couch, right? Mm-hmm. If you're talking about interior design, or right. So it's been a huge teaching for me. And for all of you who are listening, our homes are our bones. They are our structure. They are our bodies. And there's this information in feng shui wisdom. And I haven't gone through feng shui education, but boy, oh boy, do I feel it in my body. Do I feel it in my bones? There was actually moments where I went through panic attacks a few months ago. I think just in this process of construction, whether you like it or not, your body is going to change because your home is directly related. Nicky, do you have any insights about that?
There's this, let me see if I can show it. You have this blueprint that's been used in Feng Shui a lot. With the numbers, how is it called? The Bagua. With the
Yeah,
numbers where the
yeah,
entrance of the door is. I can't find it quickly right now. Otherwise I would have shown you. But if you look for Bagua, it's a square with 9 numbers in a certain order, and the entrance is always on the downside on your piece of paper. And what happens when you move? Every square is represents 9 areas, the 9 areas in your life. There's a relationship area, there's a wealth area, there's a friends area. And if you move, all of these 9 areas in your life get repositioned. Your body is shifting from a certain outline in a wind direction from one place to another. So it's not just that only your relationship area is changing, but all the other 8 areas in your life as well. So your whole energy system, and that includes your bones in your body, is shaken up because your home is a reflection of who you are and what plays in your mind and your life and your health. So when you move or are doing a construction, you're changing these basics. So it always has a consequence on your own energetic system as well. And how that plays out for each and every person personally, that's a whole different story. It's always different, but it will play out one way or another. And it doesn't always
wow.
have to be negative. It's not just only
Yeah,
negative. It will just
no,
change. It's
yeah.
different.
I mean, I tell you, Nikki, that's beautiful. Yeah, great. I love that clarification on the Bagua. Um, it's not always negative either. I'm finding that I have never been more assertive with my own boundaries. And I know boundaries is something that we've gone into depth and with together. And, you know, everybody talks about protection and boundaries. And I love your teaching about, well, what, if you're obsessed about protection and boundaries, well, what are you protecting yourself against, right? But in my case, in my personal story, it was important. The reason why is because I was violated in past lives, violated maybe in my childhood. And I'm not talking about only sexual violation, but I'm talking about someone overstepping my boundaries and me allowing that to happen. Me staying quiet, me people pleasing, me telling others, you know, putting others before me, right? And this house, you know, it's a sugar cube. Look at this thing. It's a box. I mean, I love organic forms, okay? And my husband, he built this originally, the structure of it. I mean, we're going to add a lot more, you know, we're going to add a lot more, you know, juice and feminine juice to it. But it's a box and it's solid. It has corners. And you know what this has provided me? Assertiveness, structure, grounding. I feel good here. I feel like the water and fire energy in me have a safe place to reside.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel. And my architect self is kind of like, oh, I wish I had like more flowing forms in the architecture of my house. Oh, it's so boring, blah, 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 blah. But when you take that moment to take yourself out of your small self and look down on the situation and see, oh, interesting. This place is actually serving me in this stage of my life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, um, and helping me to be very clear about my terms. and my boundaries
That just
with other
shows
people.
that your house doesn't need to be an exact copy of your personality, because sometimes you
I
need something
love
that
that.
needs
Yeah.
to be the opposite. You know,
Yeah,
if there were a different person living in
that's
your
great.
house who is from itself maybe very organized, very structured, very protective about the boundaries, it could feel like a prison and would need,
Oh, yeah, I love that.
totally
Yeah.
different kind of um, remedy to be able to feel happy in such a place than you do. And it would teach that other person as well stuff. So,
That's fantastic, Nikki. I love that. The word antidote, or like a kind of the point, like the opposite, providing the opposite to what your energy is to counterbalance.
mm-hmm.
I love that.
and
That's a
it
very
all depends,
profound teaching.
maybe in
Yeah,
10 years, it will, the same shape will provide something different for you,
yeah,
or in a different area of your life, maybe.
yeah,
You never know.
yeah.
We speak again in 10 years.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I love this comment that just came in from Yvonne. Beautiful explanation without knowing, question mark. The box form represents Earth, which gives
Mm-hmm.
stability. Exactly.
Yeah,
Earth is
square.
the
It's a
square.
grounding,
Earth, yeah,
grounding shape.
the
I think
four
I've told it
corners.
before,
Yeah,
but if you want to play with such shapes, just take a piece of chalk and draw a square on the street, and sit in that square, and draw a circle next to it. Sit in that shape. Draw a triangle. And just this
yeah,
is a very simple way to experience what shapes do for your body and your mind, your
yeah.
energy system.
And
So,
everything. Yeah, yeah. It's an amazing exercise. And then what's fun is, then, as an architect, right? Thinking about the details, right? Then how do you bring in details over doorways or doorknobs or the colors that you use to then counterbalance the structure, right? Even just putting this circular window,
mm-hmm.
which is the window of my studio, it changes it. It really just offsets the block and brings the whole, the feminine, the circular energy to the space with actually a very simple move. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to be so obvious or in your face. So yeah, it's great. You could just get so deep into it. Then what do you do with your ceilings? And what is the bathroom door like, or your bedroom door? How are the corners, the inner corners of the space? I can just show you when we just do a quick tour inside. So we're walking in, we have another circle here, entering in. Okay, we've got, some of you have seen this already, we've got my organic, awesome entrance. Yeah, this was the real, yeah. We're gonna have our fireplace here, but just adding things like this, right?
Yeah.
Or even just that,
Mm-hmm.
really makes a difference for breaking up the block, right? The earth, the square. And then here, we did some details here. Yes, he put the sink in.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to show the sink too. Super. Do you see here, there's a column in the corner and there are beams here.
Yeah.
Can you see that? So
Yes.
what I did with what I did was I chamfered the corners here, and here to create balance, and then created these niches, right? Up there, I'm going to add some wood details, maybe have some plants hang at the top, and then do some kind of like some curving wood structures on the ceiling to soften it up a bit. But just this even, Nikki, makes such a big difference in the space.
Yeah.
And then we've got the kitchen here, which is, I think, blending really well now with this whole organic sculpture. And we've got the sink. Yes.
Yeah. I saw that on your Instagram this week. It was really nice.
Yeah. It's a little bit forward, actually, because we have a deep counter, but we'll work with it. We'll work with it. Again, just some details. We'll work with it.
Well, it could
it's a bit
be,
forward.
I guess I just assume you take pictures of everything, the before and after. And only just that, to tune into the energy of that certain moment in time by seeing those pictures, you could really teach people what the difference is, what an effect on a certain space is. It's really wonderful. If you do that yourself, if you're painting your wall, take a picture before and after, and just get maybe not. You get a feel for how it was before and how it is now, and maybe you can see, looking back, what the changes were where you went to in your personal life, just by changing a certain aspect in your interior.
I love it. Yeah, that's beautiful. I should do, now that you share this, have a diary of some kind, just noticing the progression and the changes as I, make these changes in the house. Yeah.
Just for
next
fun.
thing, the next thing that I feel that I want to work on is how to integrate my husband's presence, his energy into the house too, because it's been very, like, I've been bringing a lot of feminine forms and femininity, and I've been governing the design for the most part. Upstairs, we're creating a TV room for the boys, with a bookcase and just like a really comfortable couch, and it's open to the stairs. So I want to bring more of a masculine, dad and son kind of hangout space where they can eat chips and popcorn, and right, like sometimes I look at this place, I'm like, is this are they going to be comfortable?
Well, ask him for ideas.
I will. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm going to ask him, because he's been so busy with other things. He's just like, I'll just keep track of other plumbing and stuff like that. But
which is a very, very important part of building a house as well.
Absolutely.
That energy is also in there. So maybe not in, the outside, but in the bone structure,
Exactly. And he did put a lot of work in the first stages, like building this earth rectangle, right? The basic structure. So I think in a way it makes sense that the feminine energy takes over, right? And you see, the fact of the matter is, most interior designers are women in the world. There's a certain energetic about the interior, right? Or people who are more maybe feminine. Now, that said, of course there are male interior designers, but you just see more women who are doing this work. You also see more women landscape architects. At least that's what I remember from, all the studies in university. But architects and engineers, okay, you have more women nowadays, but before, it's more of a masculine thing to do. So, but we're changing that now, right? We're bringing a balance, and we're awakening the masculine and feminine within us, and learning from both sides. Yeah. Nicky, I do need to get going. It was such a great talk. Next time when I host you, I'd love to hear about what you're up to, and your success stories with your clients, as well as maybe some updates on the cold water coaching.
Mhm. Yeah, we're going to start with a group the end of September. I got a few enthusiasts and daredevils who are going to jump in the water with me all over the winter. So yeah, I'm excited to start that. And of course, I just wanted to tell everyone who is watching, Aisha, is this week still the Sacred Blueprint is still on?
Thank
The
you. Oh
Sacred
my
Blueprint
God.
interview series.
Nikki's my marketer. Oh my God. I can't believe I even forgot about I'm so deep into this construction. Yes, thank you. Uh, the interview series is still on live every single day this week. Nikki's been a part of the circle several times. This season, we are focusing on women architects and designers who are bridging spiritual wisdom with design. It's amazing. There are a lot of there's feng shui practitioners, shamanic land healers, um, and they're sharing all of their wisdom and keys on how to build healing sanctuaries with the wisdom of nature. So you can sign up via the link in my bio, the Sacred Blueprint interview series. It's not too late. And even if you can't make it live to every session, you will get access to the recordings, and the recordings are up for 48 hours. So, but make sure you join live to all of them, if or most. Because at the end of each live show, you get a free bonus Q&A session. So those aren't available in the recording. So you can ask whatever you want to the guest speaker about your home, about a project that you're working on, about nature's energies in general, geomancy, feng shui, biogeometry. We've got an amazing circle. So it would be great to see you all there.
Yeah, so sign up, don't miss out, and I'll see you again in a week or two, I guess.
Yes. Thanks, Nikki.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. See you.